Guys, after subscribing to this channel, please make sure that you also press the bell icon so that no notification, no new video of mine, any educational video, is missed by anybody.
All right. So now we have another very interesting topic called GTD, and we have Shrishti with us, who's going to explain and do the case presentation for us. And Rashi will help us in understanding this case even better. So, just a second. So over to Shrishti for her case presentation. Yes, you can start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
So I'll
evening.
be presenting the case. So this is Mrs. X, wife of Mr. Y, 35-year-old, homemaker, resident of Kerala, belonging to lower middle class. She is G2P1L1, LMP on 26 April 2025, with the period of gestation of 12 plus 2 weeks, with expected date of delivery on 3rd of February 2026. She came with chief complaints of bleeding PV and lower abdominal pain since 3 days and vomiting since 2 days.
So she's 12 weeks and she's having bleeding for vaginal and abdominal pain and also vomiting. Is there something that's coming in your mind right now, Shrishti? What could it be?
Yes, ma'am. Most common symptom we usually see in our ENC clinics with early gestation is hyperemesis gravidarum. But
Okay.
this patient has come with the bleeding PV and vomiting. So it could
Yeah.
be threatened abortion also or any other uh, case also like hereditary from mole or anything.
Ectopic.
Yeah. Okay, go on. So you think it's threatened abortion? It could be hyperemesis is different. Obviously, vomiting is separate. What else are you thinking? It could be. It's 12 weeks.
Molar pregnancy.
Molar pregnancy. Okay. All right. Or it could be just normal pregnancy with some local cause of bleeding, isn't it?
Yeah, ma'am, it can.
Pain can happen otherwise also. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. History of presenting illness.
History of presenting illness. She has a history of amenorrhea for 3 months. UPT done was positive when she missed her periods. She is an unbooked case. She gives a history of bleeding PV since 3 days, using 1 to 2 pads per day, not associated with passage of clots or fleshy mass or grape-like vesicles. Bleeding is associated with lower abdominal pain, acute in onset, colicky, and intermittent in nature, radiating to back, relieved temporarily with some pain medication.
Bleeding is associated with lower abdominal pain, acute and onset colic and intermittent in nature, radiating to back, relief temporarily with pain, some pain medication. Okay. Can you tell me her pain score? I mean, okay, it's continuing. All right. So what I see is that there is bleeding since 3 days and not too much, but she's using 1 to 2 pads. It's almost quite heavy. I mean, normal period like bleeding. Okay. One thing more, Shrishti. We said over here, she has her LMP so and so. She missed her periods. But did she do her UPT over here? So is it possible that she had a delayed periods also? This is one of the DDs.
Yes, ma'am.
Here, just here. Here we get to know that a UPT is done. Correct? So here we get to know that it definitely his pregnancy is not just a delayed period. But she's having passage of clots with this thing. If this thing is not there, it can be anything right from what we discussed, threatened abortion to local bleeding to anything else. Bleeding associated with low abdominal pain, acute in onset, colicky and intermittent nature, radiating to back, relieved temporarily with some pain medication. Let's say pain score, say anything. Pain score is what? 7 on 10, 6 on 10, 8 on 10. Anything you want to say?
6 on 10.
Okay, let's put it at 6 on 10. Okay. Because pain score is important. All right. What else do we have?
She also complains of vomiting for 2 days, 9 to 10 episodes per day, non-bilious and non-projectile. There is no history of fainting episodes, no history of fever, no history of burning micturition, no history of shortness of breath or chest pain, no history of trauma or recent intercourse, No bowel or bladder complaints, and no history of any local lesion.
See, we have tried to avoid and negate all the DDs that were in my mind. Yes, no local lesion. That local lesion thing is gone. Any recent trauma, recent intercourse, that was, we missed that DD out. Any bowel and bladder, can't she have bleeding PR and she's confusing it with bleeding pervaginal? Is it not possible? Maybe she's having some problem in the rectum and she's also having complaint of abdominal pain. It is not associated with pregnancy at all. It's just a GI problem. Yes, that's also one of the DDs. We negated that also over here. Shortness of breath, why are we asking? Chest pain, shortness of breath. There's no real reason, right? And burning micturition, why?
To rule out urinary tract infection, acute pyelonephritis.
Yeah, pain abdomen hai, so maybe pyelonephritis, UTI, whatever, so interstitial cystitis, or just cystitis alone. No fever. And why fever are we talking about again? Yeah.
With UTI again, she can complain with fever now.
Yeah, I mean, she's having pain abdomen and she's having vomiting, right? So anything can happen. She can have a GI infection as well, correct? So fever is okay. Fainting episodes?
Ectopic pregnancy, like
I was thinking that, but it's 12 weeks now, right? I was thinking of that, but ectopic 12 weeks hardly goes on to 12 weeks. All right.
Hypoglycemia.
No, usually corresponds to amount of bleeding. So she's been having a lot of bleeding, but she's not telling you that much. Fainting episodes can happen. People are otherwise also very subjective and very different from one another. Some people might tolerate very heavy bleeding also without syncopal attacks. Some people will suddenly faint even with little amount of bleeding. So this is a very valid question, especially if a patient coming to you with bleeding per vaginum or any bleeding from anywhere. Okay, internal, external, anywhere. Yeah, obstetric history.
Obstetric history. Married for 4 years. Gravida 1. Girl baby 2-year-old. Full-term normal vaginal delivery 2.5 kg. Pregnancy was uneventful. Resumed menses after 8 months and normal cycles. Present pregnancy spontaneous conception. There is no history of OC pill use.
Okay, so previous one was a normal. Now everybody pay attention to her previous obstetrical history. Why am I saying so? You'll understand it the moment I'll take this step one step ahead of molar pregnancy. When we jump on to a possibility of GTD, everything of the previous pregnancy will become important. Previous history, previous pregnancies, interval, what was the previous pregnancy, and so on and so forth. So it was a normal vaginal delivery 4 years back, and she resumed normal cycles. Resumed menses after 8 months. Really? For 8 months she was amenorrheic. Is it? Normal cycles, present pregnancy, spontaneous conception. Okay. And there was no contraception used?
Yeah.
Okay. She has regular cycles?
Yes, ma'am, regular.
Okay. Past history, anything specific?
No, ma'am, no any medical illness.
Anything in family, personal?
Not significant, ma'am.
Not significant. Okay. Tell me the general physical examination.
She's conscious, well-oriented, averagely built, pillar present, a height of 152 centimeter, pregnancy weight 54 kg with BMI 23.3, no icterus, clubbing, cyanosis, lymphadenopathy or pedal edema, no thyroid swelling, breast examination, normal changes in pregnancy and no spinal deformity.
Okay, all right. So pallor is there. So she's been bleeding, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Vitals are febrile, respiratory rate of 16 per minute, a pulse rate of 110 beats per minute, blood pressure of 116 by 72 mm of Hg, and SpO2 is 98% on room air.
Okay, all right. Okay, now anything important over here?
Yes, ma'am, per abdomen examination.
Yeah, so there's nothing, right?
I have to see.
Lower abdominal is distended, okay.
Distended, yeah, but rest all the things are normal. Central and inverted and
Palpation is important, yes.
palpation, soft, no guarding or tenderness or rigidity. Uterine height is 26 weeks. Dovey feel, no fetal parts are palpable. There is no external ballotment, and on auscultation, no FHR heard.
Everything is important, isn't it? Usually it's just too exaggerated. I mean, 12 weeks can't be 26 weeks with molar pregnancy. It's too exaggerated. Maybe you can feel 16 weeks or 18 weeks at the max. Not 26 though, but it's okay. Let's assume it as I'll just write it down as 16 weeks. This is too much. Okay.